Hello guys and welcome back to our week 2 match with GPC. First of all, I want to say if you've watched my match last week, you saw that I was recovering from the cold I was having, and I was getting better and better. But after the holiday I was on for the last few weeks, it became slightly worse, and I'm again having a bit of a rough cold with a nasty cough. And if you have, so you might hear me cough in this video, so I apologize beforehand, but I don't want to miss the upload deadline, so I'm still going to record in these conditions. Also, it's also a bit my own fault. I went on a holiday to Drapions with friends, and let's just say there most nights it was not much sleep, and yeah, there was alcohol involved. I won't be going into further details, it's not that interesting to you guys. But here we are with our week 2 match against Johnny, and coach of the Cologne Conkeldurrs, if I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah, what I've known from him in the off-season tournament of the GPC, he made it to semi-finals and he was a really solid contender there. And also what I've heard and seen from him, he's a really solid battler and overall a great opponent. So I'm definitely looking forward to this match. First of all, I have some more time now, so I'll be doing a short team builder. I think I will just make it one video. Maybe I will put a timestamp if I don't forget to the actual battle. But first of all, let me go over his team. He dressed some really big threats, and then he tried to with some low tier mons round out the team. So he first of all drafted a core of Victini, Megalopony, Jirachi and Hydreigon. So those four are really really threatening mons. Then to round out his team, he drafted Gligar, Granbull, Tentacruel, Murkrow, Rotom Frost, and Porygon. So what I immediately saw was Hydreigon, Victini, Megalopony. I needed really big checks for those three mons. Jirachi, again, offensively it doesn't do that much to Mega Aggro. Still, it could be like a calm mindset I have to look out for, but Jirachi, I thought it if it would come, it would more like a special defensive set, because I have like a Thunderstarian, I have a Kyurem. So yeah, overall the Jirachi could kind of check some of my mons quite well, so that's why I decided, that's what I thought about the Jirachi. Then Gligar, if it would come, I expected to, yeah, it could be defensive, special defensive. It can kind of handle some of my mons. I wouldn't be surprised to see it, but I also wouldn't be surprised to not see it. Granbull, I thought a Granbull, defensive Granbull is a quite nice weave-out jack. If he packs like something like Rest for longevity, it would even be better. But overall, weave-out does maybe not even 3-hit KO it, and Intimidate is just a nice support for his team. Tentacruel could be nice as his hazard removal. Also, Tentacruel is with the poison type, it can kind of deal with the Clefable, and overall it's quite an annoying mon for my team. I have to say, I don't have many switch-ins to it, especially not on the team I actually ended up bringing. Then Murkrow can be an annoyance, but I thought against my team I didn't really see it do that much work. Rotom Frost, I could definitely see Rotom Frost coming, but to the final team I bought, if he would only like a Specs variant would do enough damage to like really break my walls and do heavy damage. But then again, Rotom Frost was kind of dealt with either or Kyurem or like revenged quite easily. And then Porygon, yeah, Porygon could be a bit annoying with like T-Wave and such, but I didn't really see Porygon coming that much, because if I brought like a Calm Mind Fable, a Sub Calm Mind Chandelure, a Curse, Mega Aggron, something around those lines, Porygon would just be set up for them, and so I didn't really saw that one coming. So here you see my 6 mons I ended up bringing, and the mons I didn't end up bringing were my Thunderstarian. The main reason I didn't bring Thunderstarian, as it did really great last week, was Lopunny can offensively deal with it, and because Jirachi is Spadef Jirachi with Wish, kinda handles the Thunders quite well, and Otherwise, to just run 4 attacks Thunderous, or yeah, it was just between the Jirachi and some of his other mons. I thought Thunderous wouldn't have the best matchup. The same goes for Kyurem. Spidevarachi kind of handles that one. Xatu also, I didn't really see Xatu in this matchup. The same was for Machoke. For hazard removal, ultimately you will see I decided on Flygon, so Donphan, and Donphan didn't have the matchup, so I also left Donphan on the bench. And if I remember correctly, the final mon I left on the bench. I will put it somewhere. I kind of forgot. I will just look it up in a second. And I already remembered it. It was Alomomola, and yeah, Alomomola was just kind of easily dealt with his team. Like Hydreigon, it can't really touch it. There's a free sub on Hydreigon, this and that. So yeah, Alomomola definitely also didn't have the matchup. So that's ultimately why those 6 weren't that much brought. But now for the reasons why these 6 are brought and what role they have to will fulfill in this time around. So first of all, I looked at his team and I saw Knockoff and Ice Cold Crash Weavile just really put a hurdle on his team. Then it was like Granbull can be a bit annoying for my team, so if I end up weakening it a bit, Poison Jab just does slightly more damage than Ice Cold Crash, so I ultimately decided, yeah, Poison Jab, I definitely have room for it, so I also put Poison Jab on it. And because he had a Jirachi and a Victini, and if Victini was like Colbur or like especially offensive Scarf set, it could easily be pursuit trapped by my Weavile if it went for like a V-Create, or yeah, or on a nice double or something. So I definitely thought pursuit was also a nice option, and also pursuit was really nice to if I need to have some chip on a certain mon, pursuit could definitely be there. As you will see, I think the final mon I will reveal will be like my main game plan, which the rest of the team kind of supports. So about the EV spread, it's a very standard EV spread, because he had such weird speed tiers that after the Mega Lopunny, the fastest mon was base 100, I could go Adamant Weavile, so I could do slightly more damage, and even could run some bulk into it, which was really nice. Overall, I decided on Live Oak for just the extra damage output. So after putting Weavile on the team, I kinda knew I wanted some sort of hazard removal on my end, and from the matchup I thought Flygon had quite a nice matchup, so I decided on Dewford Flygon first of all. So that was the first move I put on there. Then I was looking at his team, and ultimately I decided that Special Flygon could be nice, because otherwise Granbull could kind of hardwall it, so I thought, okay, let me put Earth Power on it, let me put Draco Meteor on it, because Draco one-shots like Hydreigon and also outspeeds Hydreigon, so that's really nice. And then as last move, after talking to my good friend Chris Togevar, he said, yeah, with your team composition, Victini doesn't want to lock himself into a move really that badly, because if it locks itself into a fight type move, it's a free switch into Chandelure. It has to look out that it isn't pursuit trap for Weavile, so this and that. So overall, he said Flygon is kinda your Victini check in a certain way, because it also speed ties with it and this and that. So ultimately we decided on Roost for some longevity on Flygon, and also so it could take like a hit from Victini and heal up later on, and also keep it healthy so to defog later on in the game. Ultimately I decided on Yachi Berry for various reasons, one being Victini packing ice coverage, which means I can kinda take the ice move and try to kill it back with Earth Power, or damage it enough where if it kills Flygon there after, Weavile can come in. So that's one reason. Also Jirachi with Ice Punch could be a thing, but mainly it was more like after I finished up this team, I decided on the item for Flygon, so it was like really late on. I saw I don't have much for Tentacruel, and as I'm special, poison moves I resist, and Scald also does like 30% to me. The burn is not that much of a hindrance, only a bit chip, So I thought Yachi Bear is also nice for like the Tentacruel, because I have to weaken that before I can kill it with things like the Weavile and Shadow Lure, as you will see later on. So that's why I decided to make this Flygon set. So after I knew those two mons, and those are more of my offensive mons, I knew I wanted a defensive core, as I wanted definitely one mon that would be like the hard switch to make a Lopunny. And ultimately I was like, okay, I could make Clefable this, but I also wanted it more especially defensive, but you will see what kind of Clefable I ended up bringing. But yeah, the defensive mon I decided to bring for the Lopunny was the Tangela. So if I like Tangela, just max HP, max defense, it high jump kick, I think, yeah, is barely a 3-hit KO. I think if it's adamant it's a 3-hit KO, but with Weavile around I don't think he would go adamant. So that's really nice. Synthesis to heal up, Giga Drain to heal up, and have a move that breaks the substitute if he is substitute. And then the last two moves I definitely wanted lead sheet on it, because this means two things. One, I can lead sheet on the switch, then switch out into a mon accordingly, get some lead sheet recovery, but also I get some chip damage on my opponent's mons. And as you will see for my final game plan, it's really important to have chip damage on like almost all his mons. And as last move, I could have run something like Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, but ultimately I thought, yeah, those are a bit situational, those can definitely miss also, that's also something, and that's more of a wasted turn. So in the end I decided on Infestation, and Infestation is a move you don't see that much, but it also doesn't do that much damage. But it, as it says, it traps and damages the target for 4 to 5 turns, which means the target is trapped, but also it takes chip damage. And as I said, chip damage is key this match, but also it traps it, which means it can switch out, so they can make like a double switch on me, so I know the mon is staying in and I can switch accordingly, which then gives me initiative, which is really nice. So that's why I made this Tangela set. Then the Clefable, you will see it here. It's mostly defensive with a special defensive nature to take some hits on the special side. First I was thinking of like a full special defensive Clefable, like for the Hydreigon. With leftovers it could even take 2 flash cannons, it could deal with like a special Victini. But also after talking with Chris Togovar, he said, yeah, Hydreigon could also run Iron Tail, which would just nuke you if you are special defensively, and also you just don't know what the Victini set is, and Clefable is just not a Victini check. And I kinda agreed with him, and with making this max HP, max defense, I could even take 2 returns from Lopunny, so I also became like a soft check to Lopunny, so I have now 2 like defensive checks to Lopunny. And then the item I decided that I knew for sure that if I would change this set up to like this mixed set, I would definitely want the Berry, because I could then get a surprise kill on mainly the Hydreigon, after then for like a Flash Cannon or Iron Tail, and even if Iron Tail Lopunny would come, I could get damage or even a kill on that one. So as my moves, I definitely wanted Softball for longevity, Moonblast for damage, and then the last 2 moves were also quite easily known for me, because I wanted Shadow Ball. And you may say, why Shadow Ball? And then if you look at his team, you see there a Victini and a Jirachi, and that's what Shadow Ball is for. And maybe it doesn't do great damage, but I could definitely see like a substitute Victini coming, so I can definitely break this up with a Shadow Ball. Jirachi, I could if he sub Jirachi, Shadow Ball breaks this up. It also just gets damage off Jirachi if I need it. As I said, chip damage is key in this match, so that's also why Stealth Rocks are really important on this mode. Because as you will see what the main star of the team will be, Stealth Rocks had to be fit somewhere, because chip damage is key, especially like Victini takes a lot of damage from Stealth Rocks, and also if he switches around a lot, Stealth Rocks are really key in this match. So I decided to put Stealth Rocks on the Clefable just to really hurt his team. Then after having like 2 defensive checks to Lopunny, I also wanted a mon that could just revenge Lopunny, because Lopunny is just so scary for me, and also some of his other mons just put some damage on it. or just in the end clean up late game due to outspeeding everything. And that's my Scarfer this time, and it's Scarf Chandelure. So Chandelure was really nice for me because of the flash fire ability for the Victini, but also Scarf Chandelure had quite a nice matchup because Shadow Ball and Fire Blast hit his team quite nicely. Yeah, it's also the mon it doesn't hit that hard is Hydreigon, but Hydreigon still takes around 30% from the Fire Blast. And in the end I had some slots over because I kind of only needed Shadow Ball plus Fire Blast. So in the end I even decided to put Hidden Power Ice on it. If I saw that Gligar or Hydreigon would switch into this quite often, I could yeah, get them off guard and do some heavy damage to it that way. And also as last move you see I run the Memento, and that is for my last mon at the start of the team. As you soon will see, the Memento just helps with setting up because it kills the Chandelure, but it lowers the opponent's Pokemon's attack and special attack slot by 2 stages, which is really nice in helping with setup. You can see here the EV spread, and I wanted to go modest because I wanted this extra damage on the Scarfers, and I knew I had 2 like defensive checks to Lopunny, and I didn't saw max speed Lopunny coming. I thought it would definitely outspeed Weavile, so I speed grabbed for that with this Chandelure, but I made a mistake, as you will see in the match. And he might have run max speed Lopunny, but after talking to him, what I saw, it was more that he just ran enough speed to outspeed Weavile. But I made a silly mistake because I prepped quite hastily due to me being on holidays and such, and I calculated later on, and I also sped grabbed only Weavile, and I didn't sped grabbed Lopunny speed creeping Weavile, meaning I had just enough speed to outspeed a Weavile, which meant that I would speed tie with a Lopunny speed creeping a Weavile. So to be sure, I would have put 8 extra EVs into this, but probably 4 was enough. So I just was missing 4 EVs in this Chandelure, and that could potentially have costed me really much. Luckily, you will see in the match if this really mattered or not for the Chandelure. But it was a stupid mistake on my part, and I'm definitely regretting it. But now, after talking so long already, because I'm rambling on as always, on to the star of the team. And the star of the team this week is Mega Aggron. This time I'm running an offensive Mega Aggron with Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Ice Punch. It's just Heavy Slam and Earthquake pretty much hit his whole team really hard, besides things like Gligar and Hydreigon, and there is the Ice Punch for, and then I have the Rock Polish. And with this speed investment after 1 Rock Polish, I just outspeed his whole team, and this Mega Aggron can start sweeping. It has max attack element just to do enough damage, and then only then it's able to like 2-shot defensive Gligar. And overall, this mon, if I have chip damage on like almost all his mons, this mon can clean up late game. If I set up a Rock Polish, if he has a Scarfer, I might have need more than 1, but if he doesn't have a Scarfer or his Scarfer is dead, I only need 1 Rock Polish to outspeed his whole team and kill it. The only things that might stop it are like Prankster T with Murkrow or like T with Porygon, if I haven't weakened that enough, because I do like max around 40% I think to a max defensive Porygon. But I didn't really expect those mons, and still I think Mega Aggron has a great matchup this set. So the star of the team, Mega Aggron. Can we pull out this sweep or just win the game in general? We will now hop out into the battle. So here we are with the battle. You see from team preview, he brought the Mega Lopunny, the Victini, the Jirachi, the Gligar, the Tentacruel and the Gramble. Pretty much what I expected. No Hydreigon, he brought the Gligar instead. This could be scary because like Flygon is quite nicely checked by this Gligar. Chandelure, if it's especially defensive, doesn't do that much to it. But overall, I was quite happy to not see the Hydreigon. So I was thinking he could lead with a number of things like the U-turn Victini, U-turn Jirachi, even just make a low pony. So I thought just let me lead the Fable. Fable is not that much needed this match because there is no high Dragon first of all, and I kind of want to get up rocks as soon as possible and pressure rocks because I want my chip damage. So he leads Mega Low Pony, he just goes for a safe fake out as I just stays in. He sees I'm not leftovers or something. He doesn't want to take a big Moonblast, so he switches out into his Tentacruel. I put up my rocks. Here I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to spin right away, so let me go into a Mont that can threaten his Tentacruel offensively immediately, which is my Flygon as I mentioned, but he whoops out the Scald and he does over half to me, and he reveals to be a live op Tentacruel. So he brought an offensive Tentacle, which was a great bring on his part, because as I mentioned in my team builder, I didn't have much on this team for a Tentacruel. And with Live Op it can change up moves, and between Ice Beam, Sludge Wave, Scald, it just hits the whole team really hard. So I'm thinking here, okay, this can be a problem, but because it's offensive, this Earth Power has a great chance to kill. This might be a speed tie, but I max speed. I'm willing to risk it because I don't have many other plays for this and switches for this Tentacruel. So I'm just going to put out the safe Earth Power as he goes out into Gligar. Okay, I know I kind of knew Gligar could have been checked to my Flygon. I kind of hoped he would go out into his Bramble expecting a physical variant, but he doesn't. So I decide here that Gligar couldn't, I thought Gligar couldn't really touch me, so I thought Roost is quite a safe play. I get back to full, which means I can switch into Tentacruel once again, and I can switch into Victini as he pulls out the Baton Pass. And immediately alarm bells goes off in my head, because Baton Pass is a nice tech move, but also you normally don't run Baton Pass on your Gligar if you are not like a Swords Dance or an Agility set. And yeah, Agility could be scary into like his Victini, but also Swords Dance into his Low Pony could also be really scary. So I definitely have to keep this in mind every time Gligar comes in. But now Low Pony is in again. And Fable has taken that fake out damage, so it can't take 2 returns anymore. So I'm going into my first designated switch in, which is my Tangela. It takes the fake out as it's nothing. He switches out into his Jirachi as I just go for a safe lead sheet. Sorry guys. Here I'm thinking he could go like U-turn, Iron Head. I thought let me get some offensive momentum and let me get in my Chandelure, as it reveals to be a leftovers Jirachi, kind of what I expected. Also kind of expect a Wish, but he sets up his own Stealth Rocks. The whole match I'm kind of contemplating, is it worth me removing these Stealth Rocks and also removing my Stealth Rocks, meaning I have to put them up again, or do I just want those chip damage on his side? And ultimately you will see what I decide, and ultimately I don't defog away the rocks, because yeah, on his side I just wanted that chip, and I thought Weavile and Chandelure, even with limited switch-ins, could do enough work. So here he could switch in quite a number of things, but from what I thought he would switch in, I thought Shadow Ball was a safe option, as I thought like Tentacruel could come in, maybe Gligar, and I didn't see him pulling a hard one into Low Pony, and also I didn't want to miss like a Fire Blast wasting a whole turn, so I just go for a Shadow Ball, which does big damage to this Jirachi as it goes for U-turn, meaning this Jirachi is almost dead and probably will be sacked on later on and wouldn't do much to my team, which is quite nicely. One month again weakened enough for my Mega Aggron. As he U-turns out into his Low Pony, he saw I was scarfed. I'm locked into Shadow Ball. He makes a great double into Tentacruel as I just make a safe switch into Tangela. He knows Tentacruel is like offensively quite well for my team. Here I just go out into Clefable, as I kind of want to keep my Flygon around first of all, and also I thought he might went for an Ice Beam here, and I could try to recover up, or just take like the incoming Ice Beam, then on the Sludge Wave go out into Flygon. So I was trying to bring in my Flygon with as less damage as possible. So here I thought, okay, Scald is not killing me, so he's probably going to put out the Sludge Wave here, but he just fires off a Scald as I bring in my Flygon, so this is quite unfortunate as Flygon is now really low, but Tentacle is also taking more and more life damage. Also, Tentacle again is already in the KO range for Mega Aggron, so that means 2 mons in range already. Now I'm just going again for a safe Earth Power. So I don't see a reason not to. Gligar, as he just sacks off his Jirachi, he doesn't want to risk his Gligar, as I could have U-turned out. I could have made a double, who knows what. So now he brings in this Gligar knowing it can kind of quite well deal with this Flygon, and I'm thinking, okay, this probably is like a Swords Dance Baton Pass variant. It might be Agility, but I was seeing Swords Dance more as a threat because he has that Mega Lopunny. So I thought, okay, I need to go hard into Weavile and threaten this thing out, because otherwise this could get really messy really fast. So I'm putting a hard one into Weavile, as I call it correctly. He goes for the Swords Dance, and I'm just going for Ice Cold Crash. I don't want to mess around with like predicting Granbull or going for knockoff, thinking, okay, I need to remove some items. No, because if he was bossy enough to just stay in with Gligar, thinking I would overpredict, the Baton Pass out into Weavile and plus into Mega Lopunny, +2 Mega Lopunny could quite well just nuke my whole team, because after the match he told me he had Fake Out plus Quick Attack for Scarfers. So he goes out into Granbull, which actually is really nice, because it takes quite some damage from this Ice Cold Crash, but most of all it puts it in range for Mega Aggron. But also I kinda want, before I set off my Mega Aggron sweep, I knew I wanted chip damage on almost all his mons. Like Lopunny is also in range already, because it has taken a round of Stealth Rocks. Victini after Stealth Rocks is in range, and Tentacle is in range, and Gligar dies to 2 Ice Punches. So pretty much everything is in range, except I don't know the item of Victini, which may well be Shaka, which may well be Scarf. So I first want to know that before I'm trying to go for my sweep, and also I kind of want to kill Granbull before I sweep, because like I could send Mega Aggron, set up a Rock Polish on the Granbull, but then he sees, oh, this can be a problem. Let me switch out my Granbull, sack him on off, come in with Granbull, get the Intimidate drop, and then something can live later on. So I don't want that Intimidate switching, so I want Granbull gone before I go to town. So here I'm just kind of sacking off my Clefable. It's low, I don't really need it anymore. I can scout out what he's going to do. I thought he'd probably play rough, maybe he would go Earthquake, predicting the Chandelure, but he goes for Super Fang, which is a nice move to have, because it deals health damage to all my mons, especially nice for my Mega Aggron. So then he doesn't want to take more damage, as I just went for a safe Moonblast. I thought I could go Shadow Ball, but then I don't want him putting a hard one in Lopunny, and also Gligar Moonblast does more to it. But he goes out into Tentacle, and as I said before, I was just stacking this Clefable. It has done his job. He decides that he wants to Giga Drain. I don't know if this was a misclick or that he just wanted some health back, as it would kill Flygon on the switch, and get in the end get some health back. As now I just go for Shadow Ball, does a bit more damage than the Moonblast. Here he kills me off with a Scald then, as he's now really low. I could have gone into numbers of things, but I thought Weavile was my best bet, because Chandelure gives like a free switch again, which I don't want, and Flygon could potentially be a speed tie, and it is not time for Mega Aggron yet, and it could be Scald Brain. So Weavile was the play. I just go for a safe knockoff. He won't. I kind of knew he wouldn't. He would just let his Tentacle die. Now comes in a Victini, and I'm thinking, okay, I could switch out, but like I didn't really saw a Scarf Victini coming, so I thought, okay, he might bluff me. He might be Golber. He might be Scarf. But this is the point where I know which Victini set it is, and that's crucial for my Mega Aggron, my potential Mega Aggron sweep, I have to say. So he reveals U-turn, and he feels to be faster than me, which meaning he's a Scarf Victini, which is great to know. So here he goes out into the scramble, and I'm looking at the mods I've left, and I'm seeing I have quite some speed investment into aggro already. This means heavy slam will kill Grand Bull, which means, as I said, no intimidate switching for the rock polish sweep. This also, he also probably won't pull a hard one into something because heavy slam does do big damage to everything, and Victini is hurt by the rocks also. So I just mega evolve, go for heavy slam because I want to kill this. I don't want to rock polish now because he could intimidate switch around then a bit and get my mega aggro to force to switch it out. So I go for the heavy slam, I kill it. And here I'm thinking Victini could come in, but it probably won't click a fire type move, which means it gives me a free switch into Chandelure, and so on and so on. Yeah, so but he doesn't do this. He goes out into his Gligar, and I'm thinking quite a long time here, and it's like he's probably going for the Sword Stance now. But after one Sword Stance, his Earthquake probably with my investment is a 2-hit KO, but he doesn't know that. Also, he doesn't know I'm Rock Polish, and what I don't know is if this is a physically defensive or a special defensive Gligar. If this is physically defensive, I'm probably not killing from this range. If this is specially defensive, I'm definitely killing with Ice Punch. On the team composition, I thought this would be more a Spadef Gligar, as it also switched into my Flygon. Gramble is like the physical wall. I have some more special threats on my team, especially as Weavile is the main physical threat and he can't really wall that with a Gligar. So I decided to pull the trigger here because I thought I don't think I'm getting another opportunity to set up. All of them maybe Memento, Chandelure, but that probably won't give me like 2 rock polishes because I now know I need 2 rock polishes to be able to outspeed Victini. So here we go. Rock polish 1 as he swords and up. Okay, what's he going to do? It's really important. If he goes EQ, he might be able to 2-shot me, which means I have to Ice Punch next turn and hope I kill. We don't know each other's investment, we don't know what to do. He also wasn't expecting this. So I'm going to rock polish again, and what's he going to do? He roost up, and this is a big relief for me because I still know, yeah, definitely with +2 attack he probably can 2-shot me, but I also know Ice Punch is like a guaranteed 2-shot. So we go for Ice Punch here, and he just didn't expect this at all. And he Sword Dance back up again, probably thinking, I don't really know, I think he wanted this to put to, yeah, I don't really know why. I think he wanted to Sword Dance up as much as possible, thinking he could kind of wall this Mega Aggron, that it couldn't 2-shot me, and at +4 I then go for the EQ. I think that was his plan, I don't know for sure. But this is a 2-shot, which means Gligar's out of the way, and if everything's alright, I should outspeed the Scarf Victini and this Mega Lopunny, and I outspeed the Victini. Crit doesn't matter, Earthquake is a guaranteed kill. Then Lopunny comes in, Heavy Slam, should be a guaranteed kill, takes some little figure damage, and yes, it is a kill. So we win 4-0 against Johnny and the Cologne Conkeldurrs, and I have to say, that's really amazing because Johnny is a great battler. GPC has such high level of competition, and I was just so happy to see my Mega Aggron plan work. So this is a nice 4-0 win, putting us at 2-0 with a +7 differential, which means we're like on top of our division. There's one match that has to play, that still has to be played, so I might be number 1, number 2 for now. But yeah, I'm definitely really happy with the position I am. I'm also really happy with this team. I'm just loving this team. I love building with it. I love the things I can do with it. And yeah, overall, I'm really looking forward to the next week. And I wish Johnny good luck with his team because he definitely has a really scary team. And I think he definitely will bounce back from this. And next week, we face the Bullet Punch Club, coached by Uzi Gunner, which was a finalist last season. And also, yeah, as of late, I'm really loving the content of Uzi, and I've talked to him for some time now, and yeah, I really love the guy. I really love his personality. I really love his drive, and I'm definitely really looking forward to our match. And I definitely think that's going to be a solid match. So yeah, I will see you guys at week 3, guys. So for now, I say bye.